This news update is brought to you by...
Got kids? Then you need video on demand from Flow, with hours of entertaining shows and movies for boys and girls of all ages. There's always something to watch. Simply press the VOD button on your Flow remote. This is how we do TV. This is how we Flow.
This is the Barbados Today Evening News Update for Wednesday, January 20th. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary-Claire Williams. Finance Minister Chris Sinckler says he's optimistic about prospects for job creation this year. Sinckler told reporters this morning there are positive trends that unemployment may be easing. He stated that government intends to bring down the average unemployment rate from 11.8% last year to below 10% this year. Sinckler's comments come on the heels of yesterday's central bank report on the review of economic performance in 2015. He says he's also confident about projections for the overall state of the economy.
I think the important thing now is not so much only the number. Yes, we're going to work on getting that up, and I believe this year we're going to get that up more significantly than it has been. That is 0.5% growth. But in the terms of the confidence and the psychological feeling of what is happening.
Salary increases for public workers, that's high on the list of priorities of the Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations of Barbados. That's according to CTUSAB President Cedric Murrell. In the first press conference for the year, Murrell also called for employers to honor the consultation process and to respect the governance of good industrial relations. He lamented that too often consultations are being lengthened unnecessarily because employers are not willing to meet with the unions in a timely fashion.
One of the worrying trends for us in the Congress is that in order to carry out our agenda, it is necessary for the consultative mechanisms to work, and to work in such a way that the workers' representatives are heard by the persons representing the employers. And you are aware, just as I am, that we have heard from some of our affiliates that process has been stymied oftentimes because the representatives of the employer, whether they are private or public sector, are disinclined to sit at the table and to speak candidly and to consult in such a way that agreements can be reached.
Residents of St. Philip and surrounding areas will get an ease to the water shortages with the launch of a new augmentation project. And at the same time, the Water Resources Management Minister, Dr. David Estwick, announced this afternoon that new legislation is coming to address new and emerging water contaminants. Barbados Today's Emmanuel Joseph has this report.
Minister of Water Resource Management, Dr. David Estwick, told the official launch of the St. Philip and Christchurch augmentation project at Grove St. Philip this afternoon that the proposed policy is now with the Chief Parliamentary Council for drafting. Dr. Estwick said the proposed policy will replace the traditional Zone 1 to Zone 5 initiatives with a more effective and expansive form of zoning that not only takes into consideration the various herbicides and pesticides, but other contaminants. Meanwhile, the people of St. Philip now have a boost to their water supply as a new water well field and pumping station at Groves went into operation this afternoon when Minister Estwick turned on the state-of-the-art supply system with the press of a button. As the demand grows, the station will automatically respond to the needs of residents in Christchurch and the northwest of the island as well. From Groves, St. Philip, Emmanuel Joseph for Barbados Today.
Wanted man Jivad Griffith of St. Lucie has been remanded to prison after appearing in court this morning. He was the subject of a wanted notice in December last year. Griffith was arrested and charged with 3 serious offences: wounding with intent, the use of a firearm, and assault with a firearm. The charges stem from the December 12 shooting of Dexter Lashley at Crab Hill, St. Lucie, and the assault of another man in a separate incident on the same date in the same community. Griffith appeared at the Holetown District E Magistrates Court today and was remanded to prison. He's due to reappear in court on February 1st.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you.
From the region, health officials in St. Lucia are increasing their public education campaigns amid calls from PAHO for Caribbean countries to step up surveillance against the Zika virus. The Chief Medical Health Officer in Castries says it is just a matter of time before the virus is confirmed on the island. We get more in this report from HTS News Force.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Merlin Frederick says health officials are preparing for the inevitable confirmation of the Zika virus locally. The mosquito-borne Zika is spreading so quickly that countries across the Caribbean are ramping up resources to track and contain it.
We are monitoring the situation. We are sending samples to CAFA, and so far none of the samples that we have sent to the Caribbean Public Health Agency have come back positive for Zika virus disease, but we know it's just a matter of time.
Local health officials have two major worries where Zika is concerned. Firstly, it can affect the nervous system, leading to paralysis. The other, the potential impact of Zika on the unborn child.
What the studies have shown, especially observing what's going on in Brazil right now, where they're having a huge epidemic of Zika virus disease, is that when the disease affects pregnant women very early in their pregnancy, that is even before the woman appears to be pregnant, in the first 1, 2, 3 months of pregnancy, at that very early age, when the baby is just developing and its brain, etc., are being formed, it has been shown that the virus can actually affect the unborn fetus at that stage.
Dr. Frederick says health officials are promoting the same precautionary measures that they did for dengue and chikungunya.
And data published by meteorologists in the UK and the US show that 2015 was the warmest year on record. Figures indicate that last year was 0.75 degrees Celsius warmer than the long-term average between 1961 and 1990. Experts say the record temperatures were due to a combination of the weather phenomenon El Niño and human-induced warming. More in this BBC report.
It was a year of violent extremes. Record heat fanned massive fires in California and Indonesia. Intense rainstorms triggered widespread floods. From the Caribbean to Japan, which was hit by an unprecedented downpour. And punishing drought has left millions hungry in Africa. And behind all this is a rise in global temperatures. Scientists say that's partly driven by our greenhouse gases and partly by a natural cycle called El Niño in the Pacific, where warm water releases heat and disrupts weather around the world.
The main reason that we have such warm temperatures is actually human-induced climate change, and that's the main factor, and then El Niño is contributing a small amount on top.
So let's see the context for this new record. This graph from the Met Office shows temperature since 1850 fluctuating compared to the long-term average, but gradually rising right up to the record high set last year. That's an increase of 1 degree over that time, and that's halfway to the 2-degree limit that world leaders agreed should be the maximum for global warming when they met in Paris last month.
That's the news. There's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You could also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also, tune in to Channel 101 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM for more news and sports. I am Maricla Williams. Good evening.